representation in the audience. I don't know if they'd like to add to it.
Okay.
Jason,
Yeah.
roll this down a little bit so we can see the access from Babcock. Is it only this one section?
No, there's,
Is there another opening at the other end?
yes.
Okay, I see.
And this particular development here is only on, is it located on the one lot, just one lot? Because they, you know, there's two lots back that are in Palm Bay.
The way this is being designed is for also future build out for the rest of the lots. Let me pull it up on the property operator so you can get an idea. So currently, they're coming off these two lots here.
Both, I mean,
Well, it's not married at this time, but they are.
oh, so they're encroaching into that second lot with this project? I don't know.
So that
Can-
one 12 acres.
Because each of those lots are,
George.
yeah.
Hi, Chris Walsh with Walsh Traffic. I have 285 Palmetto Springs Street, DeBerry, Florida. So there's the one parcel that you saw, there's two different parcels. There was the one in the corner, so this is just focused on the one in the corner. They have overall, there'll be more development in the future at some point. Right now, they have no idea what's going to be happening on that.
Okay,
So,
all right. So it's just on the one parcel?
Correct.
Right on the corner?
correct.
So the next parcel over is there.
Yeah, and all the way up, you know, just about, if you keep going north, they own all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
How much of that portion of Valkaria Road is actually in Palm Bay?
Two lots back.
Just the two lots back, is that part of, is that actually in Palm Bay, that portion?
No, the road itself, the right of way is ours.
Right.
Right away.
The Valkaria road is ours, so you can,
None of that's in Palm Bay.
that's correct.
The road is,
The road, that's what I'm saying,
Right,
right away.
these lots are.
but the lots are.
The lots, I
Yeah.
understand
Oh,
that.
okay.
I know the lots are in Palm Bay, I want to know if the road, part of the road was actually.
No.
We're talking about the north of 92,
So,
right?
the traffic light is right there.
Mhm. And that one lot has, is that an easement or something that it has?
This one here's a flag lot.
Flag lot, okay.
Yeah, so they can't get in. Are they gonna come back and ask for another driveway into that from our road? I didn't.
They'll have access to that, if there's one access to the driveway, they're gonna have.
Yeah, they can go that way and build a road that way.
I'm worried about the traffic at that red light. I mean, traffic's heavy enough there now. And if they put a driveway there, people be turning while it's gonna be.
It's just like at Malabar Road there.
Yeah, it's gonna be a messy traffic right there in that corner.
I think ultimately, I don't know exactly the plan, but I think the mindset right now, this is just a right in, right out. So therefore, they would be able to make left ins or left outs, but ultimately, as the development expands further out, that they would get access, they have cross access I'd be proposing, so they could get over to, as far, we looked at put a road as far east as possible.
That's what I'm concerned
Yeah.
about, the traffic's gonna get even heavier because you're gonna go up the other lot and that means more cars are gonna be making that turn from that traffic light and everything. We got too many cars coming down that road right now because of that traffic light. Our traffic has increased dramatically because of that traffic light on that road.
Right, I think what's important is this is a very much a service-oriented development, so it's, most of it's not even new trips, it's really just, it's serving the people that are in the area versus generating new traffic.
It's not serving us. And that next lot, we don't have any idea what they're gonna put on that next lot. We don't know that's a service. They might put a convenience store, they might put anything.
That's what this is. This is a
I know,
convenience
but
store.
they might put something else that draws more traffic than that convenience store does. And
Well, I mean, if we don't put any driveway on Valkaria Road, then,
well, they got alternates, they can put another driveway on Babcock. They can change the design.
Let's think public safety.
yeah,
That's what I'm thinking.
yeah.
No, I'm talking.
Okay,
I'm thinking about our safety on the Valkaria Road.
all right, Dan, go ahead, Dan.
First question, this
whole lot, that's the area of that development, is that the 12 acres they're talking about? Is that the 12 acres?
No, this is not the full 12
So
acres.
what they reference in the print on the 12 acres is what? Part of the whole development plan? They're referencing, I think in our letter we talked about it too.
Correct. I think it goes all the way to the east of, when you had that aerial up that was undeveloped, it goes far east. I'm not sure exactly how far north
So
it goes.
this is all one project right now, this is the phase, because they're discussing that.
Correct,
It's a
correct.
acre. All right, my problem is this with this. If you take those cars, and I imagine everything's to scale to a degree, not accurate, but somewhat to scale. So if I take 4 or 5 of those cars and extend that line out around the curve coming in, I'm actually blocking traffic.
Yeah, there's no there's
So
no
there's
entrance.
now, if I go to
Yeah.
Babcock Street, I can put 5, 6 cars on the turn-in lane before they even come in. Then they have to make a big circle around, which takes care of traffic. There's no benefit I see of them. If you're using that drive-through or trying to get to the gas station, you got more than 12 cars there, which can easily happen if you look at, depending what that is. It's gonna create a single lane trying to turn, it's gonna create a backup there, which is gonna stop traffic coming in, turning right, and then trying to make that left turn into the pumps or into the line again. It's really gonna create a problem at times, because of the lane, the way that road is there, it's still single lane at that time. So they're gonna be a car stopped or 2 or 3, and now people are gonna be going crazy trying to get their light to go to work.
Yeah.
So I don't see any advantage of that, the way it's developed. If you put that drive-through coming in from off Babcock and make the circle around and keep it off Valkaria altogether, you'll never have a backup problem. But you're looking at a backup problem there coming off Valkaria.
Unless they put in a turn lane.
Unless they give an access turn lane like they're giving on Babcock.
Right.
If you go look at Babcock, you'll see that big access turn lane they're gonna
Right.
make getting in there, which gets the traffic out of the main run. So that's my biggest concern. The way that's constructed, we're the bottleneck off Valkaria Road. That right turn in to make that S to go to get in line, or to get to the pumps if someone's sitting in line, is gonna stop that. And they can drive all the way around if they want, but they wanna get in line, they're just gonna stop and sit there to get in line. They do that in the middle of the road if they wanna turn. So, that is a big issue to me.
Yeah, me too, that doesn't
It
work.
backs up with the red light right now. When there's cars there now, it just backs up with the red light now. Cars back up in there.
Right.
And people, when they try to get in, it's just gonna be a
Well,
congestion point.
I think what's important again is roughly 75% of the traffic is existing traffic. So it's not adding new trips. So what's important is, in my mind, is when we're dealing with these cars are sitting at the light and then today, and if this is built, what happens, they go, hey, I wanna get gas. And so they're sitting in the same queue that they're sitting in today. So it wouldn't be, it's not any more traffic than,
Oh, no.
and that's
No, but
that's why it's
the queue might last longer because there's people, you can't move if
Well-
there's people trapped in there.
Well, okay, in terms of the drive, so a few different things. The people that are exiting the development are gonna be coming out over, right just where your arrow is. So they're not gonna be, so they'd be looking to make a right turn, okay? So kind of a U-turn almost, if you wanna say. So they wouldn't be blocking anybody entering,
No.
okay?
But if the line is backed up,
People
and people are
entering
coming out,
would be
they
if they're going
can't
into the
turn
line.
anyway.
Well, so the drive-through, I mean, that shows 10 cars just to show the stacking. This type of, that site, it's a 1.35 square, 1,300 square foot, fast food area, okay? Most fast food are 3,000 or 4,000 square feet.
But your idea-
So a fast food will generate about 25 trips in a peak hour. That's showing a queue of 10. So if we have 10 out of 25 cars in that one particular hour that all sit there, the chances of that happening is very, 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 very far and few between. I think that's where, I think that is misleading in terms of, for that small of a drive-through and facility, to have only 25 cars in an hour, but yet we're showing 10 in the queue, that you're not gonna, the chances of it being backed up, does it happen?
Not right now.
I mean-
Like the son of a gun in the
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
They're gonna build
Now-
1,000 houses down there.
Now, one thing that could happen is, we could have it signed, to y'all's point, of having the drive-through traffic come around. That's something that could be done.
The drive-through traffic.
Yes, that you could direct the drive-through to come around. Absolutely, we can look at doing that, no question about that.
And how about a turn lane on Valkaria?
Well,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, again, these are cars that are basically in the traffic today, and so it's not really,
But the
it's not,
traffic,
and to turn right, I guess the point is, in my mind, is that, it's not gonna hold up cars, because the rights just go right, they just drive right on in. They're not the ones that are holding up traffic. If you follow me, I mean, they don't get up there and have a challenge turning in, so nobody's gonna be blocking, because there's not gonna be traffic coming from the north that's gonna be blocking them.
No, but there might be enough people trying to get in that, back up and then backs up into the road. That's what we're concerned
It
about.
only takes another 4 or 5
Yeah, it doesn't take much.
Well, but, I mean, if cars can turn right in, then there's not gonna be anybody blocking them from making a left to go to the gas stations.
Your idea is that there's not gonna be that much traffic with the gas stations, but you're trying to sell a place here that you want people to come to. So, once they find out there's a gas station there and a convenience store, the idea is to draw the people there. When you open a business, you're not opening to have few cars, you're opening to get as much traffic as you want, as you can. And when you do that, when it gets popular and people come, then you're gonna have a problem with traffic backing up in here. Because coming in and making the turn, the people all stopped at the red light and trying to come in and make turns, no, it's gonna make a bottleneck right there because of the traffic light. And people trying to make a turn to get in there and out of there, well, we got that condition on Highway Road at a gas station because of the same situation where they get a turn and it's a jam all the time.
How can I make a suggestion potentially? If you were to put a separator right here. If you were to put a separator right there, so if you turn right in, then you have no choice but to go back around. So there's no interaction turning left into that driveway.
You're gonna put a concrete wall up there because you put any kind of road in there. Drive right across.
No, if you put if you put like a 2 foot wide concrete that's raised 6 inches like a standard curb height, people don't drive across that. I mean, a big truck with wheels, yes, you can't stop them. I mean,
Go down to the railroad terminal where we have the things.
I understand, sir.
Things up there and they drive right across and knock the
A little higher, maybe.
things off all the time.
I mean, 6 inches works. I mean, I've been doing this for 30 years, and that's a standard height that works very well. I understand. There are those that you can't stop. I get that. But a 6 inch separator would force most everybody in a normal passenger car, a normal sized truck to go around, and then you're going to have maybe an 18-year-old that's got his big wheels that's going to go. You're not going to stop him from doing anything. I understand that.
Well, maybe
I
you
think
don't even let them go. Make a left there into the drive-through. They have to go around.
That's what I'm saying. Is
Okay.
if you were to do a separator.
Right.
That was
Okay.
a little 2 foot wide separator, but 6 inches high, that would extend here and just pass.
And they can't make a left turn.
Correct, so they'd have to circulate around.
I don't think that's the problem.
Okay, wait a minute.
Okay, I understand what you're saying there with the 6 inch divider, and that will take care of the problem. Would you also be willing to narrow down that entrance,
I
that
think so.
connection to a one-way, instead of because right now it's, 24 feet wide probably?
Oh, why, I mean.
If you ain't gonna allow them to go out and make a right, couldn't that be a single
Are you talking
lane?
about right here?
Yeah, that single
Okay.
lane, could that
Why have an inbound lane there?
Yeah.
I can check, I mean.
There's no inbound lane, and this is right at the very end of the right turn lane that's down there now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's set up very similar to the racetrack on Malabar Road. I go in and out
Yeah.
of there, once every week and a half, 2 weeks,
Mhm.
and have never had a problem where you come in and go around.
Right, yeah.
Now, it doesn't have a drive-through, but I assume this is probably gonna be a Dunkin' Donut or something of that nature, but I don't see more than 10-car queue anyway.
Right.
You also have the ability to put a double queue in there if you,
Yeah, two.
Chick-fil-A's got a double, it works.
No, all.
I'm just saying, you have enough room. I see where you have it made so you can get out of the queue and just leave, if the queue's going slow, but you do have the ability to.
The one thing, again, I don't know what the future holds, so I guess the only question I'd have about that is, if there was some internal connectivity, does it make sense for, if that gets developed on the east side, then would they want to come in? here and go in that way. But they could still go left in up there as well. I mean, they could still make the left and access to the northern access as well. So I can check with our,
I'd almost be willing to bet the property to the east is gonna want a driveway cut on Valkaria and a full with a left turn,
and I think that's the mindset, is that
which
would,
actually works.
that would, I mean, ideally, that's where the vision is that becomes the main access ultimately, and that would provide relief to this one. But we don't know what's happening over there right now.
Yeah. I mean, with the addition of the 6-foot concrete barrier and narrowing down that driveway cut to a single lane, I really don't see a problem. It's gonna get built, so.
Yeah, the only thing I need to check is, like, example, those parking spaces, if you narrow it down, and then I'm not sure about, like, truck circulation for the fueling trucks, because that's another thing that we always have to
It
take
might
into
be tough
consideration.
with garbage people too. Pick it up.
Correct. Yeah, I know, they try and, those are things, I'm not the site engineer, so I know there's always some nuances to, making the parking work, accommodating the delivery of the trucks, any delivery trucks, or in this case, the fuel trucks.
Yeah.
As well as like you said, the dumpster as well.
Once that's developed, we're going to use that driveway for.
Or they're gonna get their own, right? That's what he's saying, so probably.
Yeah, they're gonna have to, because you can't build something commercial there to be successful if you can only access it from the east. They're gonna
Right,
have
and
something
that's where I mean, initially when we were meeting with, we had the 3 different agencies, because it's a city project, and then we had the county for Babcock, and then Valkaria, obviously for this roadway. So initially the discussions were full access, and so we've evolved to right in, right out. Now it's been trying to, which makes sense, it restricted right in, right out, and just trying to find a way to try and make sure that we can really try and be restrictive on the right in, right out, and what's the right design. So that's how we've evolved to where we're at today. To your point, I mean, if you just go to one driveway, it's probably not even a viable site ultimately. But I'm not I'm just a traffic engineer, I'm not the.
You have no control over the eastern property.
I'm sorry?
You have no control over the eastern property.
Well, I think the owners, it's a different group, but they're tied into it, so I don't know exactly, so they ultimately, I think, do have control, they just have no idea what's gonna be happening right now.
They don't have plans for it.
Correct, that's my understanding, yes.
The reason I asked the question is the way the racetrack at Malabar and Babcock is set up, that drive goes to the far east,
Right,
and that would be ideal.
and I think, again, that's the,
And exactly,
Ideal.
with a full turn, so you can actually pull in, our residents could pull in, get gas, and exit and go back to the east.
right,
This is, I don't use Valkaria that often, I usually go north on Weber, and to get gas, I'm not gonna come down Valkaria, turn into there, get my gas, and then have to
Exit
go
on
north
Babcock. Yeah.
up to Weber to get back to my house, or
Sure.
U-turn somewhere
No,
on
and-
Babcock, or.
and I mean, people are smart, and it's a creature of habit, right, and so you picture, a lot of people in the morning will be going, coming from the south, or
Right.
coming from the west or here, and then they're going north, and that's gonna be
People
probably
going
the
north,
bigger draw.
people going north got no problem, people going west got no problem.
And again,
Southbound and eastbound is.
Yeah, I mean, and the majority, yes, exactly. The majority of these types of trips are convenience pass-by trips where you don't necessarily go, hey, I'm gonna go get gas and go home. You go, I'm gonna get gas on my way to work, right? So so therefore you're continuing in the same path that you're traveling,
Exactly.
so.
There's going to be some kind of a convenience store there too, though. It's not just get.
Right,
Yeah,
convenience
convenience
store.
yeah.
What is that, that thing with all the loops in it, is that a retention pond?
Yeah, that's the pond that was referred to for the 12 acres.
That one, obviously,
Correct.
not the little one, that's also retention pond?
Yes, correct, I think so, yes.
Okay, and then you're putting, for this project, they're including that retention, the big retention pond they're putting in? Or that?
I'm not sure the timing of exactly that.
Yeah, pond is.
Yeah, they're going to have to do it to develop the land, they're bring it somewhere.
It's not unusual if you own that much property to presuppose what your pervious area is going to be, and then design a master retention. There'll be pipes probably from that retention going over to the larger one. That's pretty typical, you know, on a large scale.
Did you see anything else, Rick, on this site plan? Done this so much.
Yeah, I mean, I've reviewed hundreds of site plans in the last 28 years, but I don't foresee a problem in it, especially if they're willing to put the 6-inch curb past the driveway. But even that, you know, I'll probably be the odd man out, and that's okay. But putting that curb there is going to hinder, as long as you don't hinder a left turn in, because you hinder that, you're going to have a mess on site. Trying to pick up garbage, you know, because, you know, where the dumpster area is, you're not going to have a garbage truck trying to turn around in your driveway to get into there, and then you've got your fuel trucks to deal with to get in and out.
So you think that making that left turn there is?
I think with a raised directional island, there's not a problem. I just don't see the queue being necessary to go that far. Got a 10-car queue with a 1,500 square foot drive-through. But that's just my opinion.
Councilmember, could you expand on that? I'm not sure I'm following you on the left. Where were you referring to?
Well, as far as how you have it right now, I'm not opposed to it personally. I'm just, because of opposition I've heard, I'm just trying to look at other solutions that I've seen. And the 6-inch curb going back prohibits you from making the left, makes you go around. That takes care of interference with the queue, but I think it also interferes with garbage pickup and fuel pickup and exiting the fuel trucks and all that. So I'm not so sure the 6-inch raised curb, while it takes care of one problem, it may create a new problem.
Well, why couldn't the garbage trucks and fuel trucks come in on Babcock?
Well, they can, but then look, they got to try to turn a semi around in there to get back out.
So now we're gonna have semis coming in on Valkaria Road?
No, fuel truck.
You're not thinking that. You've got garbage trucks and fuel trucks and delivery trucks and all that stuff coming in that same way. Off Valkaria Road.
Now, I wonder what the residents around there think about this. I mean, the people that are gonna use this is probably Valkaria Road residents or Weber and Corey.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Or Grant Road going northbound.
People going down Babcock.
Anyone cutting across from one going west.
Yeah, and people, anybody wants to buy gas, find that gas station there, the convenience store, what are they gonna sell at the
All right,
convenience
but
store?
we're doing this so that it helps our residents. We don't care about anybody else.
Right, well, I know that, but I'm saying, that's gonna create traffic. Convenience stores create traffic.
I understand. I'm gonna ask that. I wonder if our residents would rather not even have the entrance there.
Oh, I just think they would, because of the traffic on Valkaria Road, they're already complaining about the traffic on Valkaria Road.
I don't know.
But the do you have the statistics at all for pass-by traffic on this? What it?
Convenience store gas station, 75% of it is passed by.
Okay, so 75% of the people going there are traveling westbound on Valkaria and getting gas and then continuing westbound or northbound. So those 75% of the traffic that site's going to generate is already on the road. And the only extra traffic that's going to go, somebody from Palm Bay, they're going to make a left at the light and turn in on that Babcock. They're not going to come down Valkaria, try to U-turn to get into that directional. They're going to be somebody from town trying to go somewhere. They'll pull into the gas station, get their gas, exit at the light, get into the right turn lane, go north on Babcock, go straight on Wyoming, or go south. I don't see it creating a lot of new traffic.
Well, we already established that the traffic light on Valkaria Road, somebody had mentioned it today, and I agree with them, that's naturally creating more traffic, because it's easier for them to get across. Now, you've got, just a food for thought. Now you've got somebody that's got, okay, we got a traffic light and I can stop and get gas on the way home. So I don't know if I necessarily agree that it's not gonna create any more traffic. Maybe not a lot, maybe only 10%, 15%, but,
People coming,
you know,
using
something to think about.
Valkaria Road to come home
Right,
to Palm Bay
Palm Bay.
are gonna think.
right, and you got a traffic light and you got gas to stop at on the way home.
Well, now, the other side of that is you now take cars that maybe would be making a right turn, that are going through the signal and now go and get their cup of coffee or gas and don't even go through the signal. So it's kind of, so I see your point, but there's also that as well, which provides some benefit to people. The one thing, one thing we aren't concerned about is with the right turn lane is are you now kind of opening it up for a bypass, So if you were to add a right turn lane you were talking about earlier, do people go, oh man, now I can just skip the signal altogether and jump around?
Well, they can.
Right.
They can make right turn, go around, right turn.
Sure, understood.
You mean go through there?
Yeah, drive around.
But what I mean is, even, would that be even opening the door for it even more so, right? I guess it's what I'm.
Thing to do.
It is,
People do it all the
people
time.
do it.
When it backs up, if they're waiting for the light and it backs up,
Yeah, they'll do it.
people turning then, if they make a line going that way versus waiting on the light guarantee.
Well, see, my concern is, the other thing is, yeah, it's nice now, but development down the road, when they build all those houses, which they have already contracted to start doing, 1,300 houses to start with, right up the road from there, where are those people gonna go to get gas? Right there.
Exactly.
Yeah, but they're gonna be making the turn to come down Valkaria Road too, because that's the fastest way out to Route 1 for them right now.
But I think the point also is, it's service oriented in the pass by. So again, if it's important about the pass by, is they're not adding a new trip. They're now convenience oriented, and people now will go, hey, I'm on the road and I'm gonna make sure I go gas here versus having to drive all the way up to.
But if they start to back up and the traffic light stops and there are people trying to get in.
But you can't make a left turn into there.
Well, yeah, so it's right in, right out. So that's very, so right in, right outs are minimal disruption to the roads. I understand if it was normally left, and I think, again, I've seen it many times where you have a left turn that doesn't make any sense in close proximity, and of course I've seen many times where it gets converted to the right and right out and it immediately cleans it up. It's a much better situation.
There is a giant gas station right there at,
The new public, oh, yeah. Yeah.
more increase they're gonna drive up here if they, or we can stop there.
Has anyone looked at the potential for a raised median on Valkaria to prevent left turns in?
No, we have not looked at that.
Because that would, that prevents anybody going eastbound on Valkaria to turn into there.
You're right about that, because I've seen people do that. Left turn, they just go wide and go into it.
They want that, so they can.
But also they could turn left, sooner to go north and then just turn right on in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've learned one thing about designs: you can't design for every stupid. They're gonna.
We try, right?
They're gonna, but people are going to do what they're gonna do, and there's just unfortunately not much you can get around on that.
We don't have to allow this. So if we think it's gonna cause more problems, then it's gonna help.
I think this ought to be left, so when our people on Valkaria Road, we just had a thing on Grant Road about building on a smaller lot and less traffic. Now, people on Valkaria Road are gonna come, they ought to be able to come in and tell us what they think. And let them know that what's going, the design, I know it's in Grant, and it's in Palm Bay, but our people who live on Valkaria Road have a say of what should be happening in Valkaria Road.
Did they get notice? People get notice?
No, that was just the agenda.
The agenda?
So people with Valkaria Road should get notices were brought to our meeting, so that they can come and express their opinion on this thing also. If we do this and go ahead and, okay, a driveway and everything, without people's knowledge of this, crap's what hit the fan.
I mean, since we don't have to do it, I think we need to get some input, and yeah, it's on the agenda. But I don't know. We don't need to notice people about this, right? Send notices out?
They had public hearings in Palm Bay on the site plan.
It's not here.
Well, I understand.
It affects all residents.
I don't think it does.
I think there's some folks in the audience that want to say something, sir. Did you want to
Yeah,
say
I'll
something?
say, I mean, I didn't come for this, but listening. You mentioned,
State your name, okay?
my name is Sean Urban. I live off of Weber Road, so I'm one of those people that uses Valkaria daily, especially going in that direction. The traffic is bad. It was bad when we just had a stop sign. It's gonna get worse, and I would reckon that they don't want to do the turn-in lane that would help with the traffic a little bit, because it's gonna eat into their space they have for parking and things like that. Additionally, I've heard several, it's a nice site plan, I get that, I get everything that the gentleman is saying. You guys mentioned 75% of traffic is already there. Well, that 75% is now doing a loop and coming back out. We talk about ingress, nobody's talking about egress. That right turn lane on the Valkaria, that's gonna be a nightmare creating traffic for that light that's already a problem trying to get out. Additionally, it was just mentioned, I think it was Mr. Hood, you can't underestimate the power of stupid. People are going to make left-hand turns coming out of that drive, regardless of that little island. Look at what happens every day when I go to racetrack. There's a right turn in coming off of Malabar Road. People still think they can turn out there, and it almost causes a wreck every day. So, and you talk about all the semis, the gas trucks, you're not mentioning the Coca-Cola semis that are gonna be coming there, the bread trucks that are coming, everybody that's bringing all the convenience food that's there. We just had a brand new community built that's bringing thousands of more residents onto a one-lane each direction road. I lived here when we incorporated into Great Valkaria back in '05 when we started talking about it. Palm Bay annexed this lot, and this was one of the kickers of why we started talking about incorporating. Was because Palm Bay was annexing lots coming into our Great Valkaria area, and we did not want to have those kinds of buildings and effects and things. And Ms. Kohler says, we need to listen to the people that live there, and we don't have to do things that don't help our residents. Well, this does not help our residents. Palm Bay owns it. They can do whatever they want off Babcock. We cannot stop that. But we should not allow it to affect our residents on our roads. That's about it.
Thank you. Oh, someone else? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, boy. So this isn't even.
State your name, state your name then.
Hi, Matt Batch, school vote candidate for mayor, 2026. So this isn't even in Grand Valkaria, is it? This is in Palm Bay.
That's right.
So we're bending over for them, or what, over the barrel for their process.
I
to get their
think they
thing
wanted to
going.
help us, thinking that our residents.
They're never gonna help us. They're the devil. They are evil. Okay? We don't want that crap. And over on Grant Road, you're trying to do the same thing. Now, I was just here. Did I miss the public comments?
Yes.
My car was on fire. I'm sorry. I put it out and I got another car and I got over as fast as I could. I apologize. Basically, this is the nightmare that we don't want to see on Grant Road, okay? Because we don't want an entrance to whatever the heck it is, your strip club or your beauty parlor or your dog groomer. We don't want an entrance on Grant Road coming off of this monstrosity development crap. We moved here, this is supposed to be paradise. Everyone's supposed to be having a grand old time, the time of their life. This is supposed to be the funnest place on earth. We're supposed to be having fun, fishing, enjoying the outdoors, raising the families, doing everything, you know, whatever he wants to do. You have to go over to Palm Bay for that. But anyways, this is supposed to be paradise. And this is supposed to be protected by this town charter that we got that makes this town special. This makes this town an anomaly. We are the last untouched on the ocean here, the Atlantic Ocean, you know, in Florida. This is what makes this town happen. But seeing crap like this is just like, makes me think that you hate the town. I mean, that's all, and if you do that on Grant Road, I mean, if we can put our access to that commercial crap you want to put on Grant Road, if we can get that on Babcock and have all that, no traffic, no driveways on Grant Road, like what you're trying to do here, and this is for Palm Bay, this isn't even for your own town. So, I mean, it makes absolutely zero sense. I don't know what the Kool-Aid you're drinking is, but it's off the charts. I don't know, maybe there's some kind of business deal where someone's, I read the code of ethics. Okay, I just applied for the bicycle, I had a change of heart. I like riding bicycles now. I'm gonna ride them, pedal all around the woods, and I'm gonna eat granola bars and all that stuff. I got my application over there. I'm gonna sign that and signature it so I can get on that board and get that key to that Greenways trip. But this, no, absolutely not. And is this SE Petro's lawyer or whoever here? This is SE Petro. Mahesh, little guy about this tall, this big around.
He owns the property, yes.
He owns the property. See? Don't shrug your shoulders, Mr. Jason, he knows. So, anyways, and basically, I guess I'll have to talk to the town later, but we have major drainage issues on Grant Road. That's kind of the main thing I was going to talk about. But yeah, boo-hoo, this cannot do this. This is a violation. Talk to your neighbors, and they'll shoot it down right away for you.
Thank you. Anybody? Let's say your name.
Al Skopic, I live in Modesto. My concern is on the weekends, all these people leaving the water with their boats. They're gonna muck that up so fast that you're gonna get one big boat coming in, one big boat coming out. You have that barrier in the middle, and they're not gonna be able to move their boats in and out of there. It's just gonna be a mess, that's my opinion. You think about commercial trucks, you think about these people with their $250,000 boats mucking things up. Think about that, getting their gas on the way home.
Yeah, and so, do you think that this driveway is gonna be used by the gas, the big trucks that fill up the gas?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I believe that, like Rick said, because of the access method, it would be easier for them to come around, right?
I'll tell you what,
That's gonna encourage them to come down Valkaria? I mean, there's already enough of that.
Well, do what, that's their issue, but yes.
And you put convenience, you gotta remember, there's deliveries.
I know, Dan, we know that. And that's
All that traffic's gotta come somewhere. And if it's coming off of Route 1, where do you think it's going? It's going down Valkaria Road to that
Okay,
side.
all right. Yeah, come on.
Good evening, honorable council members. My name is Cliff Reppinger. My business address is 2101 Waverly Place, Melbourne, Florida. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Whitebird, and we represent the applicant. Just kind of listening to your discussion and dialogue and consideration here. And as Mr. Walsh talked about, I mean, there's a number of different technical aspects of this particular project. And as Mr. Mahaney stated, your engineering report, your own engineering report indicates that we do meet all of the general compliance standards for access for this project. So despite the impassioned plea, we do believe that what's being proposed is reasonable. That being said, we recognize, and I'm hearing that there's some concerns from council as far as what's being proposed. Unfortunately, our engineering consultant with Bowman could not be here tonight, so I know that Mr. Walsh made a number of different suggestions, and you've made some suggestions about some alterations that could possibly be made to the proposed access. But we don't have Bowman here to kind of speak to those issues about access for fuel trucks or for garbage or anything. So what I might suggest that we do at this point is maybe have the request that the council table the item so that we can go back and address some of the issues that have been raised with our engineering consultant, and maybe come back and be prepared to kind of address those concerns in a little bit more detailed fashion. I think that might be best rather than to have council deny the project at this point in time. So I'd make that request to you. If there are specific concerns that you want to have addressed, or if there's specific notice or something that you want to send out as far as, when you bring the item back, we're certainly agreeable to hearing that and to doing that if that's what the council needs to feel comfortable with this.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else in the audience? Okay, all right, council, what do you all think?
Let's table it. Let's table it, let them come back with their suggestions, and let the people on Valkaria Road get to know what's going on.
Make sure that we, so we know what next month or whatever. Ned'll do a good job of putting the word out, right, Ned?
Yeah.
I don't live on this side.
Oh, you don't care. Okay.
So, I think it's important to table it for now and come
Yeah,
back.
I agree. What do y'all think? All right, so
Make a
Jake,
motion.
right,
I would say,
hold on, wait.
once you make a motion, discussion stops.
Right.
I'm not sure how long they're gonna need. If they want it 1 month, if it's gonna take them longer, you know, for them. Speaking of, do you know how long you're gonna need
To what?
for engineering?
I mean, I think we come back next month, as long as you can do whatever you need to do on your side as far as any notices that you want to send out, but we're good with a month.
Yeah, Jason, I guess we need to, well, don't make a motion yet until we agree, okay. But, we need to tell Jason what he needs to do. Like, for
Now,
instance,
is Palm Bay, responsible for notifying anybody within 500 feet of this?
I'm not sure their requirements, they, on foresight, I'm sure they're notified. I'm not sure how far out though.
Okay. So they have been notified, people that live.
I don't know that they've notified our residents. I didn't receive one, so.
Okay.
yeah, I'm sure they didn't.
So we need to make sure that we,
Right,
that
that
we
we are
notify
our residents
our residents.
within,
in that area.
even, gosh, I don't wanna say everybody on Valkaria Road. But we can, I don't know, notifying, usually send a letter, correct? So we can send a letter to people that are real close to there, but then put it out in newsletter and everything, let people know we're gonna hear it again, we need them to provide input. Okay, so just look, you can do some official notification and then just some general notification, so that they know what we're
Because
doing.
it's not like a zoning request.
No,
Directly informative, right?
yeah, it's just, because if they don't provide that driveway there, and, you know, our folks won't be able to easily get into there, but maybe they don't care, or maybe they'll go ahead and drive up on Babcock and turn right and come in and they go back out that way. I mean, if you are going west on, Valkaria and you wanna use this thing, you can still go to Babcock Street and turn in there and do your thing and then go back out north or west. So you don't really need that. And I don't want
Or
to,
if there was this, you know, you couldn't put a second entrance off of Babcock, it's too close to the,
Yeah.
direct to the.
right, I mean, that's their
That's
concern.
once again, that's not a problem.
That's not our problem. But I really don't wanna see delivery trucks and, you know, and gas trucks on Valkaria Road, you know, using our road to get to that and putting these big trucks on Valkaria Road. I do not wanna see that.
This will be a big discussion. We want to table.
Yes, yeah, okay,
This will
so,
be a big discussion next week, so we don't need to continue this.
all right, hold on.
Can I say one more thing before I table? Sean Irvin, Lordy Avenue again. One thing I haven't heard mentioned, and I know this is just the roads, but a good friend of mine owns the southeast corner house. That's right on the corner of Babcock and Valkaria there.
Uh-huh.
You can see he's got his little kid's dirt bike track on the corner there,
Yeah.
chickens, all that stuff. Is this a 24-hour convenience store where the lights are gonna be on?
We don't know, that's not.
Right, so that's not, we don't get that answer though, but it's affecting our residents that live right
Their
there.
engineer may be able to tell you, we don't supply any of that or know any of that.
So, but that's
But
our
there's
corner.
nothing that we
And
can,
then the lot those two lots there are empty, and then just to the east of that are houses as well that are gonna be inconvenienced regardless of that tournament.
This house is actually a Palm Bay resident.
yeah, the only thing we have control over is access to off Grant Valkaria Road.
Right.
Everything else is Palm
We
Bay.
need to
Yeah,
think about our people first, and the same thing again.
yeah.
My other concern is the lot next door, right there. It's not developed yet. They don't know what they're gonna put there. And how are they gonna get in and out to that driveway? Are we gonna put another driveway on Valkaria Road?
We don't have to, and
I
it's not,
understand, but I'm just saying, we're looking at that, and what are they gonna develop there? We don't know.
that's their own problem, that's not
Yeah,
our
but it's our
problem.
problem if they put another driveway in there to
They
get over that,
can't, because we have to give them permission, Dan.
Unless we approve.
unless we approve it. But they're gonna come in with the same thing that he did, with the driveway. They're gonna develop that land, and they're gonna want another driveway, they're gonna come in with a whole plan, showing a driveway there, and we're gonna go through this whole thing again, because they're gonna put another driveway in over there. That's gonna be the easiest way to get access that lot.
We face that when it comes.
I understand.
What are you saying then?
I'm saying, we've gotta look ahead. If we allow this one, what are we gonna do when that one comes? We're gonna have to allow that one, too, because we allowed this one. We're gonna set a precedent that we allow the driveway on Valkaria Road for that.
No.
And then the other guy's gonna come in and say, well, you allow that one, why can't we have one?
Because it won't make sense traffic-wise, whatever, we don't have to do anything, we do not have to do that.
I think everyone knows our position.
Yeah.
Or their position, everyone has it in their head. This discussion needs to happen with more people and more input. So at this time, if everyone is fine, I'm gonna move to table this.
Second.
Oh, do you have to vote or not?
You're gonna table it to October 8th?
Do we have to vote on the table
Yes.
motion? Okay, all right, so there's a
Need
motion and a
time-
second?
Time frame and put in there as well.
Yes,
The motion,
October 8th.
October 8th, yes.
Okay, a motion and a second, is that okay?
That's correct.
All right, any more discussion? No, there's no discussion on it.
No more discussion.
All right, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, all right, we table it till October 8th.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. Okay, resolution. We're on number 4, new business. Okay, resolution number 19, 2025, a resolution of the town of Grant, Valkaria, Brevard County, Florida, amending budget resolution number 16, 2025 for fiscal year October 1, 2024 through September 30, 2025, by changing certain amounts shown as anticipated revenues resulting in an overall increase of $428,099 and certain amounts shown as anticipated expenditures resulting in a like amount, providing for an effective date. Jessica?
This budget amendment requests an overall budget increase of $428,099. Of this amount, $15,000 has been received for the Veterans Memorial, and $216,776 is allocated for paving projects. The remaining increase reflects actual year-to-date revenues across multiple accounts as recommended by our CPA. This adjustment is intended to better capture any variances at the close of fiscal year 2025, ending September 30th. As required, any increase in budgeted revenues must be matched by an increase in budgeted expenses to maintain a balanced budget. Accordingly, several expense line items have been increased by amounts ranging from $1,000 to $10,000. These adjustments are primarily due to rate increases from Spectrum, dedicated IT, and workers' compensation insurance, as well as an increase in legal counsel expenses. The remaining $180,323 will be allocated to general fund reserves.
Okay.
Is this the remaining of the funds in our yearly funds coming in now since it's the end?
Correct, yeah, we're getting close to the end of the fiscal year, so they asked that we bring up our budgeted revenues that were a little bit lower than what we anticipated what we got, so she just asked that we bring them more up to what they actually are, and then whatever we are not using just gets put into general fund reserves.
So this brings us current to
Correct.
fiscal year.
Yes, and then it's less explaining I have to do to the auditor as to why there's a variance in so many different accounts over $10,000.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's because we've spent less than.
Correct, than what you budgeted.
Yay. Okay. All right. Motion to approve?
Any public comment on?
Oh, I always forget that. Any public comment on this? Yes,
Spent less than what was budgeted. Good job.
thank you.
Hooray, hooray.
All right. Anyone else?
I make a motion we pass resolution 19, 2025.
Second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, Goodson paving quote. Jason?
Staff has received a quote from Goodson Paving Incorporated to pave and restripe the following: Corey Road from Benjamin Road to Valkaria Road was $175,356.30. Las Palmas Drive was $37,432.50. And Shell Pit Road from east of the railroad to US 1 was $17,061.12. The total for these paving projects are $229,849.92. If the quote is approved and signed, we'll have sent to the paving company to initiate the start the project. These projects should be completed by the end of the fiscal year, which is September 30th. However, it will be dependent on weather.
Is this the only quote we got, our only bid?
We go off of the county bid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we piggyback off the
Oh,
county bid.
okay. So it saves us money that way.
Jason, this doesn't include any of the additional striping we were talking about when we do, Corey Road. We're gonna do some additional striping on Valkaria.
Yes, we're doing additional, you approved that in the budget, if that,
That's included in
yes.
here? And the reflectors, not reflectors?
Not reflectors, they haven't been quoted, if you wanna do reflectors, they're $4 a piece, and place maybe 40 feet.
What do y'all think?
I think we can do without reflectors if we get these new,
Okay.
stripes on.
The stripes like over the corner by the airport, that's gonna be striped, okay?
Yeah, there's another bid out right now for BA paving to redo Valkaria Road from Babcock Street to 95. And then we'll be doing Valkaria Road from where we stopped by the airport, going around the corner to the railroad tracks. So you'll see that, and that will have the thermal striping on that. The rest of the portions that we're not doing repaving at this time, it will be painted, not thermal striping. Because
Yeah.
in a few years, we'll go back and pave that, and we'll do thermal that time.
The striping's good enough, I don't need any reflectors.
They're
Pretty
nice,
bright.
but, yeah, you don't need them. But, you have.
Can't stay on the pavement.
Yeah.
That's true. Let's run that as is.
Right.
You need reflectors on the edges.
That's true.
In walls.
What are those like, the vibration, you can put the dents in
Is there any plans for any, resurfacing of Grant Road anywhere? Does it need it?
Not this time.
No?
There are some sections that we're gonna be repainting on Grand Road.
Repainted?
Yes.
Anyone out there have any comments on this? Yes, sir.
Is there any talk about putting a turn lane on Route 1 to Shell Pit? As we get more and more, okay, Al Stovic, but on Route 1, between Route 1 and Shell Pit, we really need a turn lane there. There's so much traffic
To
coming
turn
south.
right?
To turn right on Shell Pit. It would really be great to request a turn lane there. Because, you know, you get people 55 mile an hour and you got somebody trying to make that turn and you get a lot of backup and there's a good chance there's going to be an accident.
Yeah, that is a DOT road right away.
Can we request
Oh,
it?
I can bring it to their attention and make sure, absolutely.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
Because that's not our intersection, it's DOT, but we can bring it to their attention.
Yeah, it would be much appreciated.
Yeah, that's true. And you know, and it, if you're talking about making a right onto US 1,
Well, no, if you're coming south on US 1, taking right on Shell Pit.
oh, onto, yeah, yeah,
Because you have to go from 55 to 35
Yeah.
on Route 1
right,
to make the turn.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, they put turn lanes all over US 1 recently, so you might, should put one there. Okay?
They're too busy putting the one way, do not enter.
Yeah. Now the arrows.
Reflectors.
Yeah, with the arrows, yeah.
We don't have enough reflectors that we took up on it.
Yeah, we could go around and steal all those, yeah. Okay, all right, so we voted on the quote, right? We haven't, all right, so I need a motion for this quote.
Motion to approve the Goodson paving quote?
Second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, then we have, I think, just Jason's report.
Okay, the Christmas tree lighting. This event will be held Sunday, November 30th, 2025, from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Grand Valkaria Community Park. There will be a town council meeting on Wednesday, September 17th, to adopt a tentative millage rate and budget, followed by another meeting on Wednesday, September 24th, 2025, to adopt a final millage rate and budget. Your annual ethics training is due by December 31st, 2025. If you have any questions where to get that, you can contact Jess. She can get you the links for that. And there's a little more we want.
So I met with Bonnie Roberts from Treasure Coast Marina. She wanted me to bring the idea to you guys about possibly merging our Christmas parties together. They don't have the volunteers to do theirs anymore. Initially, they would raise the money from the fishing tournaments, donate that to the town, and then basically give all of the contact information and everything for all of the stuff that they do to us. We could see what we can do with it, with the amount of volunteers that we get and the staff that we have. I don't think it would be as large as hers was. But she did want me to see if you guys would be open to doing so. They are planning not to do their children's Christmas this year. So she was wanting me to bring it to you guys just to see how you feel about it. She said that they would just donate the money and we could kind of see what we want to do with it. We could do it all, we could do none, we could do one. So
Do you know what types of things she does?
I know that she did, what did she do? She did a bunch of giveaways, and then she had a bunch of bounce houses. She did a snow pit, s'mores. Yeah, she did a movie. There were certain crafts. I think there was like 3 or 4 crafts that they did as well. So just that kind of stuff.
Okay.
A lot of fun stuff for the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grandkids down there last year.
Yeah.
Just not a lot, not much interest or something, or just trying to
They
get
don't.
volunteers?
They don't have enough volunteers right now. All of the volunteers that they did have now grown up, have their own families, and are trying to move away from that. They don't really have the time to do it, and the volunteers are not there anymore. So.
All right, let me throw it back to you, Jessica. What do you think about combined? It seems like taking on a lot.
Yeah, I think it would be good. I don't know if we could do it to that extent, but we could at least pull
Incorporate
some
of
things that she did, and I've already spoken to Mandy and Meridol as well. And they were in agreement that we could possibly try some stuff, maybe not all the first year, and then next year see if we can pull in a little bit more volunteers like we do for Grant Valkaria Day, because we do get a lot of them from the schools, and see if it would be feasible. We only have 3 hours, or our tree lighting is only 3 hours long, so we also got to look at the time frame as well.
That's true. You can't have too much.
Correct. Yeah.
Have time frame.
She's a big part of the community, but it'd be nice to be able to.
Yeah, to help her out.
Cares about is
Mhm.
family, right? So
Yeah.
it'd be nice to be able to try to make something work.
Yeah. And we can try, like you said, try bits and pieces of what she does.
Maybe an hour preview.
Yeah.
Before you get started.
That's true.
Yeah, and there were a couple of things that she told us that maybe we wanted to stay away from that she did. That was just a lot of work. So I think she would kind of lead us in the right direction of where we wanted to go. So I think it would be good.
So
We could at least attempt it.
we can meet with her again and
Yeah, absolutely.
really go into the details of everything she did and pick and choose.
Yep, she should have said to let us know when, and she'll go over and send us everything. So.
Well, if you all are willing, I think it'd be great, like Mike said, to, at least recognize her efforts.
Plus, I think if you put the word out, you would get more volunteers.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
put the word out.
We've not really used or needed volunteers for the Christmas
Tree
tree
lighting,
lighting.
right.
The maintenance man sets everything up
Mm-hmm.
for the most part,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, we
it's
used to.
just, the hot chocolate, the cookies,
Yeah.
and other than that, staff doesn't have a whole lot of play in it, so I'm sure they could get other volunteers.
Well, so you could combine things, she had her heart.
We should have 3 hours than we do. How much time can we spend over there? That's the thing.
Well, I'm saying, putting the word out for more people to come.
Volunteer.
We'll all be held here at the same time.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, it'll be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of wanting to be
That's the
hands off.
problem, they can't handle it. Yeah,
Can't be, as long as it's not too much for you guys.
yeah, that's what I would,
We don't put too much more load on you.
but we need to, like Rick said, get more volunteers, and I think we can. I know Lois is back there, you volunteer?
Well. Lois McManus, Gardenwood. GBCA has a lot of volunteers, especially we have the golf tournament coming up. We reach out to several people, and we have not had anybody tell us no. So we might be able to pull those people in to help and see how it goes for 1 year. And if we can't do it, then we can't do it, but I don't wanna tell Bonnie no,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know? We have several volunteers for the golf tournament, so
Get
we
those
can reach to
posters.
them and see if they, wanna help it. The
Christmas.
Cub Scouts are always looking to do something. They were just at the Grant Community Center, needing hours and needing, the older kids.
Right. Yeah,
So-
the high
and
school.
I know when we reach out for Grant Valkaria Day, we did have a really great turnout last year.
For the
Yeah.
kid,
For
high
with
school
the
kids.
high school kids.
Yeah, that'd be
so-
great if
Yeah,
you could do
and the
that.
more
I think
kids
it's
we
worth a
bring
shot.
in,
Lois, always.
yeah, I'm always chasing it.
Okay, so then, do we need a motion or just consensus? So I think we're all okay with
Perfect.
doing it, okay? All right, tell her yes and thank you.
That's all I've got.
Okay. All right, so Jessica, anything else?
Yep.
All right, council. Brent, you have anything to report?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Jason, I noticed on the corner of, just today, as a matter of fact, the Grant Road and Bray Brook, on 3 of the corners there, somebody's got signs in the ground, advertising, shipping containers for sale. And I don't think we really want to promote shipping containers for everybody's yard. I was down on 512 today, and I think they must be repaving 95 or something, because there was just a full line of Ranger trucks running from the plant here on Old Dixie on US 1, and then I saw some come in on Grant Road, and they're using First Street. So maybe we can make a call to Ranger, and ask them to stay on Grant Road, or run, Roseland Road back to US 1 and US 1, and I mean, they came flying off of US 1 onto First Street to get to Old Dixie, which I understand that's the only way to get to their plant. But they were driving from Grant Road onto Braybrook North to First Street past the community center. And, I think we need to request that they use a different route.
Yeah, I've requested, I remember asking Rick if we could put no through trucks on some of our roads, and I know we can't, but I keep asking. I mean, because it's getting out of control, but we can't.
That's all I've got.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, we had another League of City meeting this month, and, for our information, SB 180, if you're familiar with it, the legal staff is, working with the state, and what they're trying to do is get an injunction against SB 180. And according to the lawyer, if we can get the injunction, SB 180 would be technically be dead, because he says that the state, once you get an injunction against one of their plans, they just let it go. They just kind of let it go. They don't bring it up anymore, and they kind of let it go. And the other thing is the tax bill about redoing. They're starting a committee to go up and fight the tax.
Oh, the property tax?
Property tax reduction, doing away with the property taxes, or reducing it, whatever they want, but they want to try to step in that one and stop that one too. That's one of their next plans. And the only other thing is, they're at the point now where we're looking, every year they do, looking for suggestions to bring to the legislature, like to do every year, and they're going to be coming to every town and looking for suggestions from us, and they'll probably come up with a list like they did last time, and if we have anything we're going to add to the list, October 1st, I believe is the deadline for that. Okay. But that's what's going on with the cities. That's about it. I think the most important thing to go on that list really is the traffic problems. We definitely need money from the state to address Babcock Street.
Yeah, absolutely. They need to, push that.
So,
When do,
put on the list.
Dell always did this, when do we submit the list, or how do we submit our inputs?
They haven't generated the list yet. We should be sending a notice to you. They're gonna be sending notice to all the towns, asking for suggestions.
Yeah, they do
They'll
that.
provide a list apparently when they send that out.
And they'll want you to rate that list.
Yeah,
What's
that's,
your priority, yeah, you rate
when it
your list.
comes, send it out to us.
But then we need to add our own.
Yeah, that's it. Once we get it, then
And then we
add
need
what
to
we want
submit it to the Space Coast.
and send it back to Space Coast.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so you guys
But
be
the
looking.
deadline for that is October 1.
October 1, yes.
I thought, I got Debbie Mayfield sends that letter around, and I thought she said the legislative, all the legislatures come, I guess, and then they're in, they go to the county commission, and then you can speak in front of them, whatever.
Yes,
That-
that's open now.
That's coming up,
That's coming up now, yeah. That's on the computer.
but that's different than
That's
the
different,
list,
yes, yes,
okay?
that's different.
Because if we really wanted to push something, it'd be good to go and speak to, to the legislators. If we really wanted to push something.
When they say you have to put your name on the list, and they take the people as they come, and you might never get a chance to talk, because there's so many people, and then it goes all the way back to sometimes you're there till the end of the thing, and you
Well,
don't
that's
get
the way
to
it
talk.
is, yeah.
Because there's too many people,
I've done that before, I don't remember why, but when I
Well,
did.
I did that.
Yeah, that didn't, so if we feel it's important enough, I mean, we may wanna,
but you gotta get there early, put your name in early.
that's good, I don't know what y'all wanna do about that.
Well, I think we need to just get this list to the Space Coast League cities.
Yeah, for sure.
And and I'm sure that traffic is everybody's issue, you know.
But this is, really, critical,
Yes.
because they just keep building and don't put the infrastructure in.
Okay, they've got the plans, they designed the plans years ago, they've got it all set up, the plans, I went to
Yeah, I know.
2 meetings to go over the plans with them for the widening of that street. They had enough money to do the engineering, and that's all the money they had no more money, and they said it would be 10, 15 years before they had enough money to do the actual work.
I'm surprised Ponder residents are not more upset about it. You think about even their Emerson and Jupiter, all the roads, they have no turn lanes. So you're waiting in traffic and people are trying to turn left, and then you got two people turning left at the same time because they're not going to get across the light. You wait for 3 light cycles
Yeah.
because like you said,
Why
the
otherwise
infrastructure.
back off?
Yeah.
Dan, since you mentioned SB 180, for those that's attending that don't know what SB 180 is,
No,
can you please explain that?
Yeah, SB 180, they want to take away the rule that we have, it's town rule, on what we can say and do, and bring it all to the state, and the state will tell the town what we can do on a lot of items. And that's what SB 180 basically is. It gives more control to the state than what we have now. It takes control from us and gives it to the state. And this is what their towns are all against it, of course.
What they want to do is kind of unify,
Wait a minute.
uniform rules for the entire state. So things for Miami would apply to us, and it's just ridiculous that it's a one-size-fits-all kind of plan that Governor DeSantis and his minions have worked out. And it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever that Orlando's zoning and things would apply to us. And it's just across the board. It's like they want to unify everything, like you can't have plastic bags in grocery stores. Well, I'm all for that, but should we be forced, every city, town, little community would have to outlaw plastic bags? It's just ridiculous. It goes to that level, so.
Yeah, mainly they're looking for zoning regulations and stuff. They want to be able to zone, say that this is what has to be done throughout the state as far as zoning goes, as to what you can build here, and what you
No,
Huh.
we're still up here, hold on.
I say-
Hold on.
Yep.
I think it's mainly because, Jason, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's focused on reconstruction after storms. Is that what they're?
That's part of it, but
Right, that's, because they don't want cities and towns to hold back reconstruction of buildings or houses, whatever, after a storm. So, they don't want you to change your land development regulations or your comp plan. They don't want you to change that for a year after a storm. Nothing more restrictive, right? So, it's just the whole idea of taking away the reason we incorporated so that we can make decisions for our town, and regardless of what Miami does. So that bill is nasty, so I'm glad to hear that they're gonna fight it. They're trying to get an
All the
injunction.
lawyers are working on it right now, trying to get an injunction.
Okay, Ned, go ahead.
I was just gonna make a comment. I say we send Dan and Tom to Tallahassee and pay for their trip, and they can make it like, one of those buddy movies where they ride the freight train together and, have to share a hotel room and all that, and they could get back to us with their capers.
Thank you.
But, let me answer that. That's what the League of Cities does. The League of Cities, they send a whole representatives down there, a whole bunch of people, and different groups go to different senators and give them a pitch. So that's basically, they have more push there than we would.
Oh.
The League of Cities has more.
Free trip.
It would make for a good movie.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Mike.
Just a question. The council, I believe, decided they were gonna name the council chambers after Dale. Where are we on that?
we've been in contact with the same company that's made the seal, and we're gonna go that route and see if we can get some designs to bring to
Kind of
council.
design plaque,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And we've done any more on the wetland trail? that we
Did you get
talked about? Gotten any more numbers, engineering,
No, this is
feedback?
basic, that one on that one. We haven't, done the design on that yet. We have to finalize exactly where we're gonna place it out there, so we know the length of it.
Do you have ESC looking into that, or?
Yeah, I've already walked it with Scott.
Okay.
Okay,
That's all I have.
so what do you need next to keep going on that?
Well, I'll bring back a couple different
Oh, okay.
locations for y'all, and y'all pick where you want it.
All right.
Sure. The repair there on Bray Brook, where the pipe is failed, going anywhere on that? Down there?
Yeah, I know the one you have, that's got the 3 cones up.
Yes.
Yeah, he's supposed to be going in and bagging that one. So we're gonna have to rebuild a head wall on that one and put some concrete in there. So it is on this list already.
Okay. I just had one question. We had a power outage in the Grant end of town. It was from like 12 noon to who knows when, 2 or 3 in the morning.
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. I've tried, Meridol and I were trying to get a reason why, what happened there. She was talking to our FPL representative, apparently she didn't want to or couldn't give us an answer. And do you know if she's gotten anything?
She did not get any further.
Did not get any further. We really need to find out what happened there, because I was concerned that maybe one of our machines that, do the cutting away of all the vegetation and stuff might have clipped. I know the power cables are down deep, okay? But that right of way on Grant Road is about this big, right? In that area. It's from, Cypress Creek was down, and a lot of folks along Grant Road, and I know Gold Rush was down. But I want to know what happened, because we had the trucks, we saw the trucks out there on Grant Road, and they were all working. Did you see them? Because they were
Power did
working.
not go out.
I know, yours didn't. It was really weird. But, and then some homes in Cypress Creek, phase 2, did not go out, because the guys told us that their power came from somewhere else.
Yeah.
So, because we have such a small right of way, the cables are deep, but because we're clearing those ditches, maybe we've got down to where we clipped it. Oh, yeah, that's what they told you, but why? Did it just fail because it failed?
Struck by lightning or something.
Yeah, well, I still would like to hear from
Yeah, we got the request time, we're ready.
Okay, and I wanna push on that, cause I just wanna know, you know, and I just hope we can avoid it. Again, if it's an equipment failure because the cable's old or something, that's, I don't know, what kind of equipment failure could happen? In 30 years, we've never had this happen before, ever.
They used to call power.
No, yeah, but because we have underground power, it comes underground, we've never had a problem in 30 years that I've lived there. So I just wonder, is it because something's old, or, you know, water got in, or what? You know, I just wanna know, and I think they need to tell us.
It put out a large area, it was, I remember.
500 homes or so.
It was over 500 homes.
Yes.
But when that goes out like that, it's major transformer at the power station that goes out. And that's just plain.
No, you know why? Because we talked to the guys that were working on it, right? They had trucks and they had the little digging machines, they had all, they were gonna have to dig. Because he said, because it's underground and we don't know where it is. Even I asked them, don't you have sensors? And he goes, yeah, but it takes a long time. So they were out there, they had to dig. I mean, they didn't, for a long time, they didn't even know what caused it. They had to do some isolation. So anyway, I would like to know if we can keep going on there. Go ahead.
Me
No,
or
no,
someone
no,
behind me?
back there. Go ahead.
Ronnie McMillan, Grant Road. The text that I got to start with was the main transformer at the station there on Grant Road. And later I got a text that be on by 3 o'clock.
Right.
Nothing happened. Fired up generator, you never know. Then another text, 7 o'clock, be back on. And then later it came on and they're investigating.
Right.
So I thought something a little fishy. And later, it came on at 4 o'clock. But then the next morning there was some stuff on it that said that somebody, more or less Florida Power Line, somebody was digging
And broke something?
all the information that happened there. First it was the main transformer, now it's in the ground, so,
Yeah.
on Grant Road, it was all the way out, all the way down.
So you were out of power too, where you are?
12 o'clock, 4 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah, and they had, you know, big trucks and, the small, what do you call them? Backhoes, yeah. So they did some digging, and I think I saw where they did it on Grant Road.
Was it by a bridge somewhere?
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, it's a valid point. If it's something that we maintain and we're starting to potentially pull more dirt than we need to be pulling, kind of thing.
We need to know that.
But I mean, if it was somebody that, it was our town, we would have heard about it.
Yeah.
Well, no, but maybe they didn't know. Maybe all it takes is a little nick, and the water gets in there, and then it shorts.
We have to call before we dig, before we do anything, and they come out and locate for the town.
Okay, before you do the.
Can't dig without them.
But you're, I mean, what I meant was, I knew that, so what I meant was like drainage or ditches and stuff, to run the power line next to the, even if you just clear a ditch up.
Yeah, we call before.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
Okay, all right. Well, I still wanna know what happened.
Yeah, we'll continue to check on Mystic Park.
Wait a minute, somebody else back there? No? Okay, go ahead, Ned.
So my neighbor basically called the company, and it's their fault. And he filed some kind of a claim so he can get reimbursed. He came home from Costco with $400 worth of food.
Yeah.
Okay, and the thing went out, and they lost everything. Now, we lost all our food. Our refrigerator never came back on. It was older, but it hit a surge. Refrigerator never came back on. We lost all the food. And if you think this little arguments that we have down here is something, try arguing with my mom about throwing that food away. Okay? It's sitting in a cooler, and she's probably eating it right. Who knows? She's good. You know, we're all going to get food poisoning. And she's giving it to the dogs or whatever, I guess. You know, some of that chicken can go, you know, cook it up and get rid of the bacteria. But this ain't nothing compared to getting her to throw away moldy cheese. So yeah, file a report, call the company, try to get reimbursed. We're trying to get a reimbursed for food and the refrigerator, but it was on them. And let your neighbors know, let elderly people know, check in on them, and file a claim or whatever you can do.
Thanks. Okay, that's all I had. Anybody else? Okay,
I'll let the big motion.
all right, all those in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned.